Hi everyone. If you're here, you are probably a tango lover, a person that is interested in dancing tango, or you want to improve your technical skills in your constant advancement in tango. So I'm welcoming you. My name is Rene, and in the next hour, we're going to try to practice a couple of exercises that actually we have been doing in the last probably 3 weeks. So if you're not familiar of the things that I'm talking about, I highly recommend you to go back a few lessons back. And that is going to give you all the information that you require. If you still are not prepared for these kind of movements, don't worry, we have a bunch of lessons before that. So move back to the first lesson, and then you're going to find a lot of very interesting instruction, interesting tips, interesting ways of how to control your balance, interesting things about tango. Okay? Before I start, very quickly, I just wanted to say that we have a very interesting episode this weekend in our podcast. The episode of this week is all about the song Volver, which is a very, very popular song in the tango world, and it, I would say, like in the whole show business, it has gone beyond tango because it has been used in movies, in theater, in books even. But then we are focusing not only in the song, but in the life of Alfredo Lepera, who was the business partner of Carlos Gardel. He wrote the music, he wrote he wrote the lyrics. He actually wrote the scripts for his movies. He was an extremely talented man, so we are giving a space in our episode this week to talk about this genius man who was Alfredo Lepera. So don't miss it, it's going to be a lot of fun. Beyond that, once again, I thank everybody that came to the Alternative Music Milonga. It was so very fun to have that. Don't forget that we do that event every month. It's a place where you can dance to all the music in the world, still doing tango movements or whatever movements that you like. It's a free for all event. It's fun. It doesn't have any codes. All of the people are invited to come. So the next one we're going to have, as usual, in the 4th Friday of July. I cannot remember which one it is right now, which date it is, but don't forget, it's the 4th Friday of the month. So I hope I see you all next Friday. It's summertime. It's a wonderful time because we are coming back to life. So I really would like you to encourage, now that things are going back, get out. All this time I was asking you to stay home, take care of yourselves. If you're vaccinated, just go dance, try, see friends. It was such a wonderful experience for me to see all the people that I saw last Friday. So I think it's going to help you as well to, we need this. We need to get out of our houses and enjoy. And the weather is fantastic this weekend, so why not enjoy? Nevertheless, I want to keep going these lessons. I am going to try to do them until the end of the summer, and then we're going to recoup probably the group lessons at Blanco Park. Okay? So I'm going to start, as usual I do, with the instructions for the leaders, but I want to remind you of all the 2 exercises that we were doing. I'm going to use the sticks, so very quickly go over them. Don't forget, the fancy shoe is the right leg, the regular shoe is the left leg. So what we were doing was very, very simple. I'm going to take this line as my line of dance. So I'm leading 2 back ochos. This is the first exercise that we did. 1 ocho, the other is a little bit deep, almost behind me. And from there, I'm going to hold her leg in the air for just a second, and I'm going to make her go around me. I'm inviting her with my torso to go forward, side, the moment that she does side, I am already moving towards going again in a cross system walk. I walk, I hold her leg, and 1, 2. So if I do that, now I'm taking this direction. If I do that in a fluid movement, it would look a little bit like this. And I'm using the music of waltz so you can see how fun this is if you use the sound of waltz. That was the first exercise that we did. The second exercise that we did was a little bit like that, because what I want to practice in your head and in your body is the molinete with 2 axes. That means that sometimes you're moving around your partner and sometimes your partner is moving around you. So in the second one, this is my line of dance. So I'm going to be leading back ochos, but very fun back ochos. I go back ocho, and then I'm going to do a sandwich. In this sandwich, I'm going to rebound her body as a regular sandwich, and immediately I'm going to let her walk around me. And sandwich again. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. If I do that now, my line of dances is going that way. If I do this in a fluid movement, it will go a little bit like this. Okay? Of course, I am moving because I know how to do the exercise. I'm moving a little bit with the music, but I wanted to show you how it looks like when you got it, okay? Of course, I'm going to explain everything, the combination of these 2 exercises very, very slowly, okay? And see, here we go. The first one that actually we're going to do is the second one. We're going to start with a couple of sandwiches. So everybody knows how to do a sandwich. I'm going to go back ocho. The second back ocho, I start preparing my sandwich. Here, it's very important. I want you to have this notion that you have to rock her body back and forward immediately so she starts walking. If you, excuse me, if you spend too much time here, she's going to lift this foot. If you fail to make her feel that rebound, she's going to be late when she's walking. She can lose her balance, she can start walking because she wants to control her balance. So that part needs to be like a surprise for her. Rock and come back. So, like I said, we're going to do 2 of those and then we're going to change to the other exercise. Side. First sandwich. I rock her. Look how I am going, like we explained in the previous lesson. I'm going almost behind me, so to create space. Another sandwich, and from here I'm going to lead another ocho. See how like I am controlling where I'm going. I'm going straight in front of the brand new mirror, and then from here I'm going to hold her leg for a second, and then I'm going to keep going into the other exercise, and I'm going to do 2 of those 2. I let her walk. 1, 2. I walk now. 1, 2. I hold. 1, 2, I walk. 1, 2. Let's try to do that again. Now my line of dancing is in the other direction. I'm going to try to do slow but very tiny steps. Back ocho, another back ocho, and I go sandwich. She walks around me. After that forward step, I keep leading her backwards like in a molinete, but I stop in the second step, leading again into a sandwich. Think molinete. She goes one more time, forward step, side step, and this one, as we learned in previous lessons, this one is going to be deep. See how I'm bringing her almost to against the wall, against the mirror, and I'm going to hold that leg a little bit, and then I'm going to make her go around me. 2 steps, 1, 2. I keep leading her with my torso to go that way, but I am not going that way. I'm going to walk that way. 1, 2. As soon as she steps with her right leg behind, I'm moving my hip, and she walks again. 1, 2, and I keep going. 1, 2. After this one, I'm going to close it. 6, 7, and 8. I know that I am asking you to do to always be aware of your direction. When you're practicing at home, especially if you're practicing this by yourselves, I want you to forget a little bit where you're going if you have a problem with that. Try to practice how to engage with your own feet. How does it feel like to what you're understanding? So, and if you have any problem, watch the video over and over again. There's no way to miss it. Okay? So, things that I want you to I want to remind you when you're leading this. I'm talking about doing a very fun and connected step, fluid, but at the same time, don't forget that this is a molinete. So your lead has to feel like a molinete lead. I cannot do this without moving my without feeling that this association in between my hips and my shoulders. Without this, it's going to be almost impossible to find your right direction, okay? And that is a very common, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because usually when we're learning, and that happened to me also when I was learning how to dance tango, is that we tend to tense our body, like, you know, like we are nervous and we are trying to practice something and everything gets like a hole. Relax. The first 2 steps, side step, look at my chest. My dance partner is right in front of me, right? But I'm going to lead her. I'm going to move her body in that direction. And the moment, see, at first I go kind of like 45 degrees. I collect my feet and I'm going a little bit more. So she completes that pivot of 180 degrees on her right foot. Then I can go. I arrive here, the same thing. Here, I don't have any blockage anymore. So I can go from here to here and walk. So if you're good doing back ochos, this is a piece of cake. If you're not good doing back ochos, try to practice a little bit how it feels to develop these back ochos. As soon as you get that, see, I want you to make sure that you're moving your torso first. Now, look how I'm going to move my hips. This part of the exercise is what is going to make you feel elegant. Another back ocho. Sandwich. The more you move your hip to throw this leg behind you, the more you're going to be able to spin. See how I ended up walking in that same direction, which is the direction of the dance. If I don't pivot that much, I'm going to start again here, and I go back ocho, the next ocho, but you know, Renee, I don't think I'm flexible. I'm just going to be lazy and here. And I have to do another sandwich. And another sandwich. See, like, I'm supposed to go here and I'm going slowly to the center of the room. That is exactly what I don't want you to do. The center of the room is for the people that have not a lot of experience. You know why you're going to be close to the walls or the tables. You already know, you have that information because I'm telling you. So you're not a beginner anymore. You should not have any problem finding the right direction, okay? So make a little bit of an effort, not only to understand intellectually, it also, your body needs to do the work. I know that probably, okay, you know already that you have to move around, but you need to understand how to move not only your own body, but the body of your dance partner in that direction. Now I'm going to show the second part of this of today's exercise, but all put together. So I do the first two sandwich, dum, 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 dum. Here I'm going to almost lead her into a half molinete behind me, but then I hold her up, and here I go one. Once again, look how I am moving my torso first, and then I'm going with so when I talk about this two-axis molinete, I want you to think I lead her steps 1, 2 with my torso. Then I go 1, 2, and I lead now with my torso 1, 2, and if you are always, all the time, thinking about leading with your torso, with your chest, you're going to start feeling how flexible your core needs to be. The more you lead with all your body, the more confusing your lead is going to end up for the ladies. So it's extremely important for you to do this. In the background, we are listening to waltzes, and I wanted to use these waltzes as a combination of Juan D'Arienzo and Orquesta Típica Victor. But I wanted you to have these waltzes are not speedy. They are like they are taking their time. So even if I am not very well experienced, I'm going to try to arrive with the music. So I want you to forget Viennese waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is not part of the lesson today. I just want you to think of the boom, 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 boom. Those two beats are the ones that are leading this movement. If I keep repeating, see, I'm going to do it again. Boom, 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 boom. If I think all the time in those two beats, boom, 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 boom. I emphasize that boom, boom, boom. I'm going completely slow, but I want you to make sure what part you're not missing. And I want you, because some of you already dance, not some of you, everybody can dance waltz. Everybody knows that it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But it's a little bit confusing when you're dancing tango waltz if you have never done tango. That's the reason why. Even when you're listening any tango waltz, I want you to count 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That is going to make actually your movements, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable to fit in the music. That is extremely important because as leaders, we are determining the speed in which we're going to dance. I don't mind if, and probably none of the followers mind if everything is fit within the music, no matter if it's slow. Okay, so it's better go safe than just fast and disorganized, and you probably think that you're doing it correctly, but it's going to not feel that way for the follower. All the time I'm insisting that you have to feel what the other is feeling, and that is very important in tango. We don't dance tango by ourselves. We don't dance tango by giving the other instructions on how to dance. Try to enjoy what you're doing. Try to lead. The correct word of lead is that you don't have to tell people what to do. You have to show them. And sometimes as a leader in tango, I am like letting the people understand and learn at that same time. Oh, and a lot of people tell me, oh, that movement that you just did corrected my posture or did this and did that. So I want you, especially you gentlemen, try to emphasize in your lead, not so much in the speed or in the variety of steps. I'm giving you a variety of steps, but try them very slowly first. And when they come out from your lead very strong, then try them with a dance partner on the dance floor quick. Okay? So that's the exercise. It's very simple. At the end, I want to make a little bit of a clarification. I am ending, because I don't have any more space, I'm ending against the line of the dance. But see, let's imagine I'm doing the last one. I'm going cross system, 1, 2. Look, I'm going to lead her forward, and that's it. One little thing before I forgot. After you lead her to the number 5, when you're ready to do 6, 7, and 8, when she's going to cross, I want you to count the music. See? She walks, 1, 2, and then you walk. What happens there if you don't wait? It feels like rushed. Okay? Not only for it looks rushed if I do it. Like imagine that I'm going here, bum 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 bum. I look rushed for waltz, but it's even worse for the ladies. The ladies would like to arrive, feel comfortable, and then go. And also, in the number 5, you can make sure, I mean, it's a good time to make sure that your embrace is nice. During these molinetes, no matter if you're dancing open embrace or close embrace, sometimes you're going to feel like your dance partner is somewhere else that you don't want to. So the moment of bringing her again here, it gives you the opportunity to rearrange yourself. Makes, you know, like you can switch even your weight. You're holding her up, but you're making sure that your feet are correct, your legs are correct, your posture is correct, your embrace is correct, and then you keep going. Don't forget, the waltz is still a very, I know that a lot of people think, and even myself, I'm telling you, so many things in waltz work in milonga, but they are completely different. Milonga is fun, is filtracious, we don't need a lot of posture when we're dancing milonga. It's fast, as fast as it can be the waltz, but in waltz you need a lot of elegance. You cannot be filtracious in waltz, or you could, but first you have to be very elegant. Filtraciousness is going to come a little bit later. It's funny how I invent words in English, translating from my native Spanish. But anyways, that's the instructions for the gentleman today. Try to practice this by yourself. And the exciting thing about these steps is that the milongas are opening back again, and you're going to probably be able to do this on the dance floor. The wonderful thing is that if you try to do this with, you know, it's going to be like a surprise for the ladies if you can do this all of a sudden, right? So try to practice at home, okay? Now let's see what the ladies have to do. As I usually recommend to you followers, during these exercises, it's extremely important that you are trying to be patient with your own movements. And I'm going to explain myself what does that mean a little bit later. But also, patience has to do with the leader. Wait until the leader is clearly moving or inviting your body to go someplace or switch weight from one foot and the other. I'm going to be talking about your posture most of the time in this part of the lesson. And whenever I said be patient with yourselves is because I don't know a woman that is not proactive. If I am walking with my coffee, your sense is that Renee's probably dropped the coffee at some point, and I probably will. And you know, you're just like trying to avoid more a tragic event because that's how you are. So I want, and probably you're not thinking about it, but your body is already doing certain things. So you know already what is going to happen, and you're trying to be there, be ready, like already walk. And that's what I meant when I said that you have to be very patient with yourselves. Think. Force your body to wait until the last moment. Don't rush your movement. The more that you're patient, the more things that you can end up doing. If you move too quickly, and most of the ladies, they usually tell me that, oh, I could have done that embellishment there, but I forgot. So that I forgot part is not being patient with your movements, with yourselves. So take a deep breath and let's review a little bit what we did before. Very simple. All you have to do is forward ochos and backward ochos, and sometimes side steps. Molinete in your head, I mean, in your mind, I want you to try to put these things together. The first, two sandwich. Back ocho, back ocho. In this back ocho, the leader is going to do the sandwich and immediately go make you walk. So that, don't forget, that pause that we do in the sandwich, it has to feel like a rebound. A very quick review about that. We are not going to bend the knees when we're doing that rebound. That's why it's called a rebound, because your hips are rebounding. If you bend your knees, you're killing that rebound. It's like a weird movement back and forth. If you do this, it feels like boom. Okay, so you have to feel that in the joints of your hips. And of course, that is going to make the movement very nice and playful. Okay, so if I would be doing this as I ask the leaders to do, 1, 2, 1, I'm going to go very slow. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? Now when I'm going backwards, it feels like I'm doing this. 1, 2. I'm going to do it in front of the camera. So when I do this, it's too much. Your axis is in between your feet. So I'm lifting my toes, but I still have weight in my heels. And I want you to try to do this, even if you're wearing 4 inches high heel. Disconnect your toes from the ground. It's a lot of fun. And as a leader, I am going to feel something is going on. It feels like, oh, magic pouring around the dance. Okay, so try not to be too much concerned. Try to make your movement light. Disassociation. The same thing that I was talking about the leaders. In this particular movement, you are going around the leader and then the leader goes around you. So the leader is doing a molinete and you are doing the molinete. Our movements as leaders are kind of like more what word I can use? They are very they are not fluid. They are more taking care of the balance. They are more sharp. Okay, your movements should go with the melody. So I know that it's a little bit of a stretch to try to dance with a melody when you're not familiar with tango, with tango waltz at least. Ta, ta. Try not to rush. Pa, 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 pa. If you want to just practice that part, see? Pa, 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 pa. I'm going to give you another idea. What if we just do one sandwich? I mean, one back step. Pa, 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 pa. Think about that, because that exercise is going to be very useful for next week. Okay? Now, that is the first part of this exercise. And if you think about the if you're having any troubles thinking at what point should I practice the disassociation, in your case it's a little bit different than the case of the leaders. I'm going to take, this is the line of dance, so back ocho, Another back ocho. Here, you're already doing a lot of disassociation. Now here, pam, pam. Whenever you're walking, if you walk together with the lead, I'm going to probably dance like that, which is not very correct. So we're going to take, when you're going to the back ocho, make sure that your line is nice and straight. Okay? You go 1, 2, let the leader go and show you where is he wants to take you. And then you're going to realize that you can kiss your foot and keep dancing. The leader is making an effort to create space, so use that space. Then he keeps rolling. Keep going with him. He makes this. Try not to sit here, because see, if I sit, the leader's lead is ending here. If I sit, I'm pulling the leader towards me, so he's going to lose his balance. Okay? Now, I'm going to combine that with what we were doing before. The second exercise happens after the second back ocho. The second sandwich. Pam, pam. First sandwich, second sandwich. Now I'm going to go all around the leader. Forward step, this is a molinete. Side step, back step. And here I'm going to feel how the leader is like taking me upwards a little bit. Like pause. In that pause, you can go like this. But I am so very happy if you just do this, like making a pause nicely. And after this, very nice, the leader is showing, okay, we're going to do molinete again. 1, 2, but after the second step, he is walking to his front and he's leading you back. 1, 2, and he holds your foot again. And then he leads again. 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to go a little bit more fluid and very teeny tiny steps, so you can see how everything happens. I didn't want to say anything there, but you have seen that every time that I am doing this, every time that I am finishing anything that I'm doing, I'm leaving that leg. I don't know that the leader is going to finish there, but I leave that leg just in case. And because I'm leaving that leg, then when the leader is telling me we're done, I have the opportunity to play with the music. Let's put it that way. Not just do something. You're playing, you're dancing, you're creating a movement that is at some point is going to end up unique, yours. Nobody else is doing it the way that you're doing it at that precise moment of the music. So, see how if you listen to the music, if you listen to the lead of the leader, and you listen to your own body, only then you're going to be creating enough time to do your movements. If everything happens at the same time, it's going to inevitably move your body as a whole. Your movements are going to be as a whole. I want you to feel, because you're already at this point, most of you already know about the disassociation. You can move first your upper body, then your lower body, or first your lower body and then your upper body, okay? But if you're not taking time to do that, you're not going to be able to do it. And the more that you learn things without making that extra effort, it's going to be very hard for you to break that habit. So don't forget, whenever you look like this, you look like Tango. I cannot do that. I cannot replicate that without, this is not Tango, okay? Think of the lines, think of all these teeny tiny details that Tango has that makes it look so good. At the very end, I'm going to just focus in the last part. The leader is holding your leg, right? This is the last one that we're going to do. We go 2 steps, one in front of the leader, one closer to his side, and then he does 1 step, 2 steps, and then he holds you this in the air. Now, I want to talk about this. When you can do a scratch, the moment that you feel that he is lifting, you can scratch the ground, you can lift. Make sure that if you decide to lift, you're also lifting your heel of the standing foot, and also you're lifting your hip on that side. If you don't lift your hip, you're going to feel like all your weight is going on that side of your axis, and you're going to feel a little bit heavy and unbalanced. If you lift everything for a second, you're going to feel completely grounded, in perfect shape of balance and form. Right after that one, 2 steps, right? The final steps, which would be forward step and the way that we learned, cross, to do 6, 7, 8. But I don't want you to do that cross because your leg is still dancing. So the leader leads you to that forward step after you have done this, and try to do something with that leg. Most of the time when I'm explaining the steps, I'm making a curl that goes like an E. That is an example of what you could do. You can just drag your leg and it's going to look good. The idea is that I don't want you to move your foot together with your body. By asking you to remain there, feel the elongation of your leg, the elongation of your toes, the elongation of your ankle. I am that leaving your leg behind actually is generating more time for you to create whatever you want to create there. I can, just to practice, to have fun, see, I leave that foot, ba, 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 ba. If I leave my foot, but then I decide to come with the heel, why not? Why not try it? I don't know, probably there are like 20 different ways of doing it, but like I said earlier in this lesson, I want you to find out what it fits best for you. Try to create your own thing. Try to search, not so much in the videos or in other people. Try to search within yourself. What is the music telling you to do? What is the music? What is the shape in of the music in your head? What is the music is inviting you to do? That's the only way that your dance is going to look not like a repetition of what somebody else is doing, but it's going to start looking like, huh, That's so very, like if your name is Maria, that's so very Maria. If your name is, I don't know, Susan, that is so very Susan. The idea, and this goes for the leaders and for the followers, you have to create your own movements. What instructors, we can only give you the first patterns, the general idea, the general, the very plain form. You have to develop and create your own stuff, okay? So, as you can see, today I didn't talk anything about the steps. I was trying to focus more in the form, more in the way that you're following, more in the way that you should move your body, and interpretation of music. We didn't do interpretation of music like with the speed, in relationship with the speed. I want you to, for now, try to understand the beats. Boom, 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 boom. Then, after you got that, our brain is a fantastic miracle. So it's going to like completely understand when you decide to break that 1, 2. Sometimes, not all the time, like it happens in Venice waltz. Sometimes you're going to be dancing. Pa, pa, rapa, pa, rapa, pa, rapa, pa, 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 rapa, pa. Okay? But again, nothing is going to, even for our brain that is already a miracle, we need to learn, we need to expand, we need to make connections, okay? For your brain to learn all these things, you have to practice. Don't pretend that because you heard it with me and you got it, you have it. You have to practice this with your own body. You have, every time that you're walking down the street, go like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That is good. Like that is actually working the music with my body when I am able to move my axis in that speed that I am counting. The steps, moving my feet to the music is not very important as opposed to moving my axis with that music. Okay? But that's probably, it belongs to a different lesson. Well, that would be the lesson for today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Don't forget that we have a lot of content that we're still producing, even though things are getting a lot better, especially in our area. So we still want to do this until we can do it. We still have all the lessons in our YouTube channel, so subscribe, review. I'm not planning on becoming a YouTube sensation, but it's very useful for anyone that is interested. Even if you're already a very good dancer, there is something still to learn or to remember in the lessons. So I'm going to leave them all the time for you to recheck them, even though I would not be posting that often. The same happens with the podcast. The podcast is fantastic. It's a wonderful work for me to investigate about the life of the people that are involved in the writing of the wonderful lyrics of tango that sometimes, like, you know, they sound the same and they sound a little bit cheesy, but it's extraordinary how all these guys worked with so many languages, lunfardo. The songs meant probably they had these subliminal meanings. It's so fantastic to learn and to share that information with you and have our discussions later. Once again, that is going to be there. I don't know if I can have them because I'm so very new doing podcasts. So as long as I can, I'm going to have all this information there. So make sure that you listen to these podcasts because they are talking about certain things that we don't learn of tango in the dance floor, but it is important in tango. And also we have our virtual milonga, which is not going to last for long as well, because we are making like serious plans to come back in the fall at Glen Echo Park. I don't have all the information yet, but it's coming in the next week, so be prepared. We're going to come back with a lot of energy, with a lot of great surprises for you, okay? So have a wonderful week and keep dancing tango. I will see you next week.